Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated
It's a vibrant Tuesday morning here in our studios. Welcome to West Breakfast. We're thrilled to welcome you to our unique breakfast show. West Breakfast, hashtag what are you saying? This program is all about the youth perspective. This isn't your typical morning program. Here we dive into engaging conversations led by passionate young voices, from politics to national interest stories to trending topics and discussions on physical and mental health. We cover it all by exploring the latest in the technological and finance space, tailored by the youthful, vibrant spirit. My name is Omotoshola Sharimaki, and I'm excited to be on the show this beautiful Tuesday morning. Let's get started, but I'm not yet alone. I'm here with my ladies, flying out in burst of colors. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, pink and white, green. It's giving colors, colorful.
I like it. And then you're
love
wearing
it.
an orange pants as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm a fan of bright colors. I'm actually a fan of bright colors. When I have the money I want to have, I'm going to explore different kind of colors, and you'll not be able to pin a favorite color for me because I'm going to use every kind, from Ribena purple to chocolate brown, cockroach brown, everything. I'm going to mix them. So
Obviously, I didn't need to ask how you feel this morning because you feel so pumped, energetic,
yes, I
fashion
am.
mode.
You got it.
How about you?
That's because
Kosi?
you're looking at me with one
I
kind eye,
mean,
like, who
she's
is
giving
this
this-
Tata Moi Moi?
That's literally what my hair for. I mean, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm
For
good,
sharp.
though. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, I think
Just
I'm
a
good.
little bit of light issue again.
Oh
again.
yeah, all through
At
all
this
through
point, I think I need
yesterday.
solar or inverter or something else that
Include
can be
it
an
in your bride
alternative.
price list.
Bride price. I'll wait till I want to get married. To
That's
get
what
it.
I'm saying. So you don't have to wait till then. The earlier, the better.
Hey, God, I beg. Okay, now.
All right, guys. On Tuesdays like this, we focus on trending stories in and out of Nigeria. And today's topic will be focused on something that is often talked about on Breakfast Show. That's why we are different. But first, you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Artificial Upgrade TV. Click the subscribe button now, like and share the link to family and friends. And also visit all our social media platforms. Not only do we dish out educative, excuse me, not only do we dish out educative and interesting content, we also have things that you will love to be a part of. Today, we'll be addressing the trendy Vicky James life experience with her ex, where she was talking to Pastor B, in our words, Pastor Bolaji, or what happened between she and her ex. And you know, if it's trending, we are talking. Let me copy from Gossip Gala. But first, let's run off on this break. When we return, we kickstart with the headlines across the globe. Please stick around. Glad to have you join us from that break. It's still Ways Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? Now let's take a look at the pages of today's newspaper. Today we have the New York Times, the Punch newspaper, and the Guardian newspaper. And we'll be starting from foreign, then we'll come back to our own country. Please take us through the New York Times.
All right, straight into the international space. New York Times newspaper. By the right side of the newspaper, we have unions grading the blowback of Harris' loss in public sector. A worry of being eliminated. Next to that, Trump is pulled towards two paths on retribution. But the left side of the newspaper, a contender, we have Beat Adams and Kumar. Next to that as well, threats of the United States reversal models climate talks. Bottom of the newspaper, how the tech that connect us has set the stage for isolation. And that's giving me phones and all of those things kind of vibe. All right, next to that, which is the last headline on the newspaper, we have Radiant dancer for Alvin Ali, who lived to troop director. All right, the headline I want to quickly touch on, right, which is literally more like just giving updates on what's really going on. I mean, we already know that, Trump is the president-elect and he hasn't been, put into the system like, okay, accepted generally. I'm guessing it's due to the the issues he has in the court, that's the felony and all of that. But right now, with what the New York Times is giving us, is more like most of those threats that he has laid down earlier is now coming to play. Let me quickly read this. And it says, Donald Trump, after winning back the presidency, initially called for unity and reconciliation. However, it didn't take long for him to start threatening retribution against those he felt has wronged him. For example, he denied rumors about selling shares of the social media platform and demanded investigation into those spreading the rumors. While Trump has a history of making threats without following through, during this campaign, he focused heavily on seeking revenge for perceived wrongs. Honestly speaking, I just can't see how this plays out because, I mean, you're not yet the president, and there's just a whole lot of threats flying up around, flying up and down. Again, it might just be what the New York Times want us to see. But fingers crossed, let's just see how this this plays out. And that's all I have for you on the New York Times.
It's giving energy. You people will feel it. Them go feel it. All right, let me take you through our own newspaper here, the Guardian newspaper, and the major headline reads, Healthcare on life support as hospitals buckle on the power crisis. Right under it, up to 20% fee increase as energy costs strain budget. Staff resort to phone flashlights amid surgery delays. Disrupted clinic schedules, hospital seek prioritization by electricity distributors due to life-saving services. There's a picture of University College Hospital. There's a picture of Lagos State Teaching Hospital in Surulere. And there's this thing that says, hospitals spend over 60 million monthly on diesel transfer costs to patients. This is a lot. I mean, the height of it is using torchlights for surgical procedures. I mean, I can imagine taking out fibroids as a surgeon and they're using torchlights. I mean, this is the height of unprofessionalism. Do we fault them? I don't know. Do we fault the eco distribution company or the discos at large? I really cannot say. Well, the next headline reads, Coalition decries new terror group Shekau flays. Did I say Shekau? Shekarao flays intelligence failure. Another headline reads, unsold goods hit 1.24 trillion naira, up by over 350% in 6 months. TED Fund cuts raise fares of tuition hike despite student relief loans. Marketers Dangote set to rift on fuel lifting as NNPCL claims non-indebtedness. Away from that, ICPC advocates asset tracking to combat illicit financial flow. The next headline reads, Tinubu seeks end to Gaza war, support two-state solution. And the last but one headline says, NDIC begins liquidation of defunct Heritage Bank assets. The last headline reads, Democrats Aregbesola defer on return to parliamentary system. And the story I want to touch on is on TED Fund. As TED Fund cuts raise fares of tuition hikes despite student relief funds. Details says, as Nigerian students celebrate the introduction of federal government student loan program, their joy may short-lived as public tertiary institutions may once again increase tuition fees. This development follows plan by the Nigerian government to reduce the allocation of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Professor Emmanuel reviewed this in Abuja during a one-day strategic interactive engagement with head of beneficiary institutions organized by TED Fund. He warned that the proposed tax changes to TED Fund currently before the National Assembly could drastically affect funding for Nigerian universities and stressed the need to ensure these bills do not pass the country if they truly care about the education system. I am so concerned about this. I am so pained because I low-key feel like this is going to affect me. Why do I say this? Just yesterday, I was making inquiries about something, a government university, a state or federal-owned universities, and the acceptance was 175,000 naira. I screamed out my lungs, like, how on earth is acceptance fee 175,000 naira? This is not the private university.
Yeah.
Right, this is a state-owned, rather.
Actually, from beginning, state-owned universities have always been expensive. The only universities that I'll say have been affordable, which has not even changed, is to be federal universities. I remember...
Federal universities too are not on there. I was making inquiries for different, both state and owned.
Okay.
So I was hearing 185 for federal school, just acceptance fee. Then I'm hearing utility bill of like 50K.
Exactly. That utility bill is still shocking
it.
many people because what exactly are you utilizing? Because we're not even seeing... I was talking to somebody one day, and when I got into school, 100 level, my school fees was about 20,000. My mother used to be very shocked that, are you sure that this is everything, first and second? I'm like, yes, that's what they say we should pay. I can't scam you. But right now, they are paying over 100 plus
This is a lot.
for school fees.
So something we're meant to be happy about, okay, federal government is giving us relief, loan relief package, but it's not even up to 20% of the entire school fee.
But in their defense, I think that because the government still doesn't always pay attention to these teachers and the lecturers and the school system in general, they are trying to look for other ways that they can make up with, getting revenue and improving the school system. So it's like this. But the person that isn't affected are the students, sadly.
Yeah. Let's take us through the Punch newspaper.
Okay, let me brighten your mood a little bit. The major headline reads, petrol pump price may drop as Dangote marketers sign deal. Marketers to begin loading at refinery, NNPCL ends 24 trillion naira annual fuel import, patronizes Dangote. Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, Abiodun, former governors, Lord Bakare at 70. U.S. places $25,000 bounty on fleeing Nigeria on murder trial. Obaseki hands over to Okpegbolo today, pardons 10 inmates. Minimum wage earners exempt from payee, that's pay as you earn, says tax panel. Federal government spent 19 billion naira on presidential planes in 15 months. And on the Ondo governorship polls, it says party's perfect vote buying plans, candidates may step down. Firstly, before I even go to the whole good news part, this figure is very, very surprising. The fact that we've been having fuel importation of over 24 trillion naira. That is a whole lot. But thankfully, it's looking like it's about to end, and private marketers and NNPCL would focus on patronizing Dangote from now on. Yes, so I like to see this as a good news because there's been a lot of back and forth from Dangote. It's more like an internal war, like silent beef in that sense with Dangote and private marketers. It seems like they're coming to a consensus and eventually we're going to be the beneficiaries of that. Yes,
there was a news I saw yesterday that said, I don't know what the exact, if it was NNPC or marketers, that they will start buying fuel now for 937 naira per liter. And the person was like, are we supposed to be happy? And the real sense, are we supposed to be happy?
When they say cheaper rates, what exactly is cheaper? You even 10 naira from it or 100 naira to make it look cheaper.
From 1 to 900.
I want to ask, what would cheaper look like for you?
To be honest, I feel hold on some days that I've gotten fuel for 64 naira, 150 naira. So if you can come back to 500 naira per liter, I think that would be cheap for me.
How about you guys, Riti? What's cheap for you? 500 is fair, right?
Even though it's very unrealistic and maybe the way things are.
I'll speak to Dangote. I'll let him know that.
Maybe we'll look for a magic one. So to fill your car, we'll be spending less than like 50K. Well, depending on the type of car. Compared to like filling your car with 30K fuel and your car is still filling empty.
But the thing that will pay me is that if eventually this fuel comes down, can the cost of living also... You know this thing, the country says
it will come down.
It doesn't. Have you heard the problem that when something goes up, it will never come down? I don't think the price of Indomie, spaghetti and all these things will ever come down.
Do you know why I feel like it will go down?
They will.
When I go to the market and I bought a pint of beans for 12,000 naira, and I'm coming back again when it's now like a week or 2 weeks that petrol is now being sold for 500 naira. You're not telling me still 12. Don't tell me that.
My
now.
sisters, I'm telling you, it won't come down. I'm not being negative, but
down.
many of these private marketers, or what do you call them?
Boss fare will come down. I just want to trust
Boss fare
Nigerians.
might, but people that are wholesalers and retailers of everyday
But
commodity.
it's not really their fault.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
look
if
at
they are
it.
still
If I
selling
if
what
I
it
buy
costs?
something for 12,000 naira and the price probably where I'm supposed to get it from the, like the wholesale and all, probably is not reduced to a 9,000 naira. I have to sell off this one I have at my shop first. So it's not really my fault. If
But
not,
if they want
But
to
when they sell
inflate
it
it.
and they want to get another one, many times they use the former prices for it. There are some store owners I know that they are the kind of people that they always sell their products. So you know that this is not an old stock.
I understand you, but I also feel like you will not want to, but everybody will keep shouting on them. So when tomatoes or pepper was on the high side,
Yeah.
when
Okay,
things
that
went
one
down, we
came
were
down.
asking, okay, now pepper is fair, oh yeah, bring down your price. So I'm very sure in the space of 1 month, things will get regulated
I
back.
can't wait for that, honestly. And
I
it's
really look forward
dependent
to
on the
that.
field. So please, Sponge, this good news you have given us, eventually let it actualize.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that's it on the headlines across the globe. Let's take this quick, sharp break. And we'll be back with the topic for the day. Please be on standby.
Looking to take your business to the next level through partnerships? Then join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for Partner Up.
Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketing, sales, or partnership professional, Partner Up is here to give you the tools you need to succeed.
From in-depth interviews with industry experts
To real-world case studies of successful partnership strategies that drive innovation and business growth.
we dive deep into what it takes to form successful partnerships.
Thursdays, 10 a.m.
Don't miss Partner Up.
Glad to have you back. It's still West Breakfast. Today's conversation will be a very insightful one. I mean, the one we are going to talk about, a topic that has sparked reactions, sparked intense debate among different people. And of course, personal reflections have popped up. The question is premarital sex a deal breaker or a no big deal? Okay, so in a recent interview by Vicky James and Pastor Bolaji, who had a candid conversation with Pastor Bolaji, where she shared a deeply personal experience about her previous relationship. Vicky James revealed that she ended things with her ex-partner because she wanted a relationship that respected her belief in abstinence before marriage. The brave decision to prioritize her values over a relationship led to an unexpected breakup, among other issues that happened in the relationship. It also raises an important question. Is premarital sex truly a deal breaker for everyone, or is it something that can be overlooked in modern day relationships? In a time where social norms around sex and relationships are evolving, we find ourselves asking whether the decision to practice abstinence is still a valid standard for a healthy relationship. Or does it signify a strong moral or spiritual foundation, or does it even express an outdated, unrealistic expectation from one's partner? Everything are what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be looking at it from the medical level, the emotional level, the spiritual angle, rather, I mean. the spiritual angle, the medical angle, the emotional angle, the psychological angle, and every angles we want to bring on the table. But first, let's listen to Vicky James when she was speaking with Pastor Bolaji. We'll be right back.
You were literally abused and you stayed there. Why did you stay there?
When I met this guy, how I met him was that I was a born-again Christian. In fact, I broke up with the older guy I was dating because I said I wanted a relationship where we practice premarital sex, where we don't practice premarital sex. And because of that, the older guy was now misbehaving. I broke up with him because of that, so I could face my relationship with God. How I started dating this boy was me that carried my hand to go and win a soul for Christ. And I was now won into the world. I went to win a soul for Christ, though. That was how I started. He played along for the first 3 to 4 months. He agreed to no premarital sex. He was the best. He was following me to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. His friends told me, Vicky, you think you can change?
Okay, we just heard from the horse's mouth. She met this guy when they were doing evangelism. The guy told him, oh, don't worry, it's not a big deal. All of a sudden, it is now a big deal. So now, I will start by asking, is it fair to end a relationship based solely on difference in premarital sex or abstinence? Let me start from that.
I think it's fair.
Fair? Would you want to expatiate?
So, if we start a relationship on the basis of no sex till marriage, and you, like, let me use her words, after 3 to 4 months, you're not coming to say, oh, baby, I cannot do this. Sweetheart, you know my body, and the way the doctors are telling me ahead, the way the doctors are telling me, they say you have prostate cancer and all of this. Bro, the cancer will hold you. I'm being for real. But I mean, on a lighter note, right? I feel like if we both are in a relationship and we are there for a certain reason, we have to stick to that, right? But it's not a problem if we both just enter the relationship and there's no conversation around, oh, do we have sex? Do we not have sex? Do you get what I'm saying? And especially if it's people that really don't know what the word is about, or even if they know what the Bible says about, you know, fornication and all of those things, and they feel like, okay, I mean, with the way, I don't know if you saw the video of one doctor like that was explaining that you have to have sex, is it 21 times now, weekly and all of those things. And he went for that to say that my wife understands. So I really don't know what that is. But I mean, what I'm saying is there are people that they don't have an issue with, you know, having sex before marriage. So stick to those kind of persons. But once we are in agreement that, oh, no sex till marriage, it becomes a problem for me. Because tell me how we already did that. We already entered this relationship solely based on that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing you differently. I'm seeing you in a different light. And we enter, and after 3 to 4 months, you're coming out to say, you know, my body is really doing me somehow and all of those things. Bruh, you don't reach where we go break up. It's as simple as that.
Oluchi, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask you the same question.
Okay.
But I want to ask you, don't you think it is not enough reason to break up? I mean, let's say is everything you want in a man, is cool, is calm, is attentive, he understands your love language. But the only problem there is just the agreement on the premarital sex thing. Is that enough to make that decision that, okay, I'm done with this relationship? Man that in Vicky James' story, she shared a lot of things about how she invested in the guy. She invested in the guy, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't a one-sided thing. It wasn't only that sex thing. Yes. So do you think it's enough to say, okay, because of only this sex, my body is the temple of the Lord, or maybe for personal reasons, I don't want to have sex. Is it enough to make such decision of breaking up with your partner?
Sweetheart, is enough. See, if as a man, right, we have an agreement that, oh, you are probably a pastor or an evangelist, and I'm a minister, right? And we have this agreement that, okay, no sex till marriage. And at the end of the day, I like that 3-4 months that she said. So after 3-4 months, you know, see your body is doing you somehow and all of these things. There are two things. The fact that you cannot stick to that agreement that we have. How sure am I that when we eventually get married, for every conversation that we have and we have an agreement, or you will not leave it? That's one. See, the truth is we see certain things and we just like to leave it in the surface level. If our two get contract, you cannot now stick to the rules and regulations. How sure am I that when we now have bigger ones, you stick to it? That's one. Then secondly, it shows that he doesn't have a proper understanding on what God is saying. He doesn't know what the Bible is saying. Because you cannot say that you're an evangelist, right? And you want to live a Christ-like life, you want to live like God. And at the end of the day, you are not saying that your body is doing you somehow. You don't have the Holy Spirit in you. You don't know you don't have anything. You don't know God. You don't know who you think you're serving.
Okay.
You probably just have an idea on who you think God is. That's what it is.
Thank you, God's beauty. Oluchi.
First of all, I'll say that, pardon me, this topic can choke somebody, so that...
You're not serious.
Have your coffee.
When I looked at this topic at first, I'm like, are we really going to stretch the discussion beyond?
Yes, we will.
Because the answer is a direct no, like God's beauty started, and it's a big deal breaker. And why am I going to say that? I think that many values, it's not all values, or it's not everything in relationship that should have a compromise. We've been taught that in relationship, we should not just throw everything away and want to quickly end things. We should have compromise. We should consider the other person. But there are some values that you do not compromise. You know, I think there's something called scale of preference when it comes to some top priorities and even values. There are some things that are number one, can never drop. For her, it could be that abstinence. To the guy, it could be honesty. It could be something else. But for my own number one, I have put that abstinence. Nothing you do or say or convince me with will make me drop that. So I think that is firstly, this is a question that, of course, you should have a general answer. But we're in a world where everybody have different value system, right? So what we even said might not resonate with some people. Do you understand? But I mean, why should we agree on something? I like what you mentioned. That this already, it shows a character flaw.
I mean,
it shows a big character flaw.
It's that simple.
And in fact, I think people that have that experience in their premarital relationship should really be thanking God, because you have seen a very clear red flag that does not look like pink flag. It's correct red. This is a banner, in fact. Billboard, in fact, has shown you that this is a red flag. Why do you now still want to patch things up? I'm going to say something. I know I'm jumping into the another question my mom to ask about society. But the reason why some people will still want to compromise on issues like this, you know, I said it in the other one other program that we had about abuse. People these days, it's not easy to find boyfriend. It's not easy to get a partner. It's not easy to have somebody that will love me. There's already this age bracket they put for women to get married. So when you've seen somebody that ticks all the boxes, he's calm, he knows my love language, he's hardworking, he's ambitious, he cares for my family, but this one is the only missing link. I'd almost feel like, well, I can't start from beginning again and be talking about favorite color with that guy. I don't even know if I'll meet the guy. Let me just quickly click on this. And so I will not accept any other thing that really is against my top values. So there's a whole lot.
Thank you, ladies. Now, in relationship, there's something called love language. It means in which physical touch is a part of, right? So how do you have the conversation of no sex in our relationship? Okay, does it mean that it will be the proper Mount Zion SU type of relationship where we don't see behind closed doors, no spending of weekends? I mean, I need to understand how you guys approach the topic of premarital sex without it being a big deal. You know, there's a way you say sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. And there's a way you say, sorry, bro. Right. Like you're about to say, Pelela Kolabo. So the way you present the conversation to your partner, either from the girls' angle, from the boys' angle, we determine how much of a deal breaker it will sound. So, what type of relationship is it going to be like? Let's be very practical. You don't need to use yourselves, but let's be very practical now. Would you guys be hugging? Would you guys share peck or maybe French kiss once in a while? Would you guys be seeing behind closed doors, or you guys only see each other in open spaces? Parks, no, you know, let's establish the fact that when you are in a relationship, no, not scratch that. When you are in love with someone, you love everything about them. I mean, like the man who says, see your girlfriend alone, your body is up. From the male perspective, just seeing that alone, maybe just pass by, your body, there's a sensitive part from your body that starts to make more, permit you to use that word.
Okay.
So how do you now present it? How do you deal with the approach of it? How do you say it? Okay, these are the terms and conditions, or maybe you will not use the word terms and conditions. I'd like to hear from God's beauty first.
So I would start on this note. I don't have an issue with sex before marriage or after marriage. Everybody should do, I mean, to each their own, right? But now, speaking of how the relationship would be like, since they have both agreed that, okay, no sex before marriage and all of that, I feel like, again, if you are really into God, right, into God.
Now you or your partner, because there are two in a pod now.
So why are you in a relationship with somebody? Period. Like, how?
Why would like to put ourselves in trouble?
Why? Wait,
even the Bible says don't touch ungodly things.
If you touch ungodly, what are you expecting at the end of the day?
I can be a Christian. I love God. I understand God, and I worship God in my own way. And I'm not that I don't want to mention any church now. I'm not that intense Christian. That okay.
There's nothing like that.
Thank you very much.
That's the problem.
That's why we're having a conversation.
Great.
There's nothing like people that are into God as people that is in surface level. See, you are with God, you are with God. You're not with him, you're not with him. Even the Bible said you cannot serve two masters.
Yes.
Do you understand? So if you are into God, I want to believe that your partner is into God as well. Because trust me, nobody would sit down, except his manhood is probably small, or he doesn't know how to use it.
But how would you know when you guys have decided? Although I intend to keep that one till later when we start talking about the medical advantage.
First of all, do you think we're doctors to talk about the medical advantage? First of all, when I was saying medical.
God is not It's not author of confusion.
I don't know that Bible verse.
Yes, of course I do. See, the truth is, I understand this medical whatever that they say, right? And I'm not disputing. But you know when they say if you know too much, you end up messianic. Let me use my directors, See, the truth is, I am not disputing that all of those things are true or not. But the God that said you should not fornicate is not a stupid person.
Can you be a little bit more practical? Because I asked the direct question. What love languages would you and your partner share?
Okay, sorry.
They'll go
for videos together.
How will you guys be seeing each other? Will it be behind closed doors? Because obviously behind closed doors, sharing or maybe lying on the same bed, one or two things can happen. Or maybe just pecking or just kissing or just touching each other's body. So how do you deal with things like that?
Now, it depends on the people involved. There are people that I've heard guys say that.
By people. Like,
I said there are different people. Like everybody has their Okay, so I remember having a conversation with somebody, and this guy said even if there's somebody that is here now, like Uncle and all of these things, he won't feel anything. So there are men that have trained themselves to be like that, right? There are people that train themselves to be like that. Now I remember joining a live section. I don't remember who the preacher was and all of that, but I remember this person saying that. So I think somebody asked her, "Is kissing your partner bad? Is this something that God is against?"
Pastor Kingsley.
I guess so. I can't remember now. But this person said it's not bad though. I will not say it's bad or it's not bad. But if it's something that would make people now commit sin, then it is bad. It is on you to judge whether it's bad or not. So if you kiss your partner and you don't feel anything, then go ahead. But if you kiss your partner and you want to start moving, you want to start undressing, then it becomes a problem. Do you understand? So it's just like somebody asking you, holding knife, is it bad? Of course it's not. But once it's now used for certain reasons, it becomes bad. So that's what it is. Okay. So I will not.
You're answering like a politician.
I am.
But that's fine.
So I should be less of a politician.
Please.
Should I?
Please don't.
Okay, let me start like this. You were talking about different love languages, right? And you said that, of course, when there is love, there's a lot of emotions involved. And they used to tell me, I've heard that if you love somebody and you do not feel anything for them, maybe you should run, because what do you think marriage is about, right? It's going to be like on full force when you're married, so you should have that physical attraction. But also, I've come to realize that intimacy can be expressed in different ways that does not involve intercourse.
Yes, list a couple of them.
That feels like a quote. That does not involve intercourse. So, firstly, if these two people have determined and made up their mind that they are not going to have premarital sex before relationship.
No, that's skipping. I'm so sorry for cutting.
I'm not skipping. I'm going to that
I asked
love language.
How would you put it down to your partner? Okay, how would you explain to him?
Great. I missed something with what you were going to say before. You said, how do you put it down?
Yeah.
There's no mincing word or being political or diplomatic in putting it down. It's as straightforward as possible. In this relationship we're getting into, there's no going to be sexual intercourse of any form or sort of void or form. Do you understand?
Sort of void.
It will make it very clear. Once you start mincing words, the person will have another interpretation. Okay, maybe she does not want the real, but we can have other time.
God bless you.
And who says, if you tell the person that this is a deal breaker, they will understand that it's a deal breaker. If you cannot, then we break it up at this this point. So I think you can be as direct as possible in saying
I
it.
mean-
There's no point mincing words.
Okay.
And if the person love you, like they used to tell us in our SS3, if a man love you, he's not going to want to do that in today's world. My sister. But I was going to say something that there are different, I want to really land on this point. There are different ways to express intimacy that doesn't have to do with intercourse.
Yeah.
Premarital relationship are basically to get to know people. And today's what I think is something Solomon Butch used to say, sexual intercourse have blinded people from actually knowing a person.
Yeah,
Because all you
I
people
agree.
do is just to, what's that word? Genital meet and greet. That's how I used to call it. That is all that they're involved in. So you don't even get to know this person. And you are, it's now going to be
There's
cloud
not
your
this
judgment.
fantasy and all of this.
Exactly.
You are not
We'll get
sitting
to the
to see the
emotional and
person in a
psychological
certain light.
part.
Yeah.
There are other ways to express intimacy. We can go out, we can play games, we can do something together. There are many, I can't pick some of them right now.
Secret. Do you know that
Okay.
as a minister of the gospel, right? Everybody knows I love worship a lot.
Yeah, in the
I actually
morning,
find
you
it
torment
more. I don't torment them, God.
She told me the same playlist every day. Please, change.
God have mercy on me. but do you know that I find it very intimate to actually have a partner that worships like me.
That's like intimacy
I
too.
don't want. Let's not do anything. Let's just worship. Let's sing. I just like the fact that we can both sit down and we are using different vocals and we are saying the same thing. We
Can
are
I say that
kabashing.
you should also not worship inside your house?
I don't know that.
Okay,
I don't worship.
Okay,
Before
guys.
the playlist go and change to one a girl song.
Okay,
the
so
worship
guys,
has turned to
we have to go for
something
a
else.
coffee break right now. We need to refill our coffee.
Okay.
When we return, we are going to talk about the emotional, the psychological, and the medical angle of this premarital sex thing.
medical.
Because you guys have been talking about it from, and the Bible
Christian
said,
angle.
minister said,
We are Christians now. What do you expect us to say?
Okay, so after this break, we'll continue the conversation. Please stick around.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Glad to have you back. Okay, the behind the scene has been so interesting, but now we are bringing it to in front of the camera.
Okay.
So let's have the conversation: is premarital sex a big deal or a deal breaker or a no big deal? Now let's talk about the emotional level. Enough of when he loves me, he respects my values, blah blah blah. No. I need you guys to understand that a man's brain and his third leg have different brains. They don't think a man can be very broke, be going through a mental difficulty, be going through his world might be crashing, and his third leg is thinking of where to enter. Right. That's why a man will wake up every morning and there's a third leg waking up with him. I feel like he can't control it. It is not what he's thinking or what he dreamt of overnight. It's just his body acting that way. We females, I would say for we females, we can be in control of our body to a larger extent, except during our ovulation. Even during our ovulation, we are still in control. I mean, when I'm not thinking of sex or anything, I'm not sure I remember there's ovulation. Yeah. Right? But for a man, they are thinking of it, they're not thinking of it. It's always
there.
So, in a world where love language, I'm going back to the love language, is the physical touch, and you are dating a man that Just by seeing you alone, I'm going back to that one again. Just by seeing you, look at your fine shape, look at your strong, look at the person that God gave me. Okay, this is the soul of my soul, the flesh of my flesh. They are already aroused. And you are of the view that, oh no, they should not go there. Now let's enter the medical level angle that we've been talking about. It is believed, or medically, they've said it. I think Dr. Akwoki has said it a couple times that there's a number of times a guy should have sex because of prostate cancer to avoid this. And in a relationship where the wife do not believe in sex, am I saying the wife? The girlfriend do not believe in sex. What can be done? Now, during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they were saying a woman's breast should be touched by a man. Till the doctor came out to say, no, it's wrong. Or a woman's breast does not need to be touched by a man. But then, a woman's breast needs to be touched maybe by herself, just for examining herself, to be sure about it, and to also prevent breast cancer, which means there is not how we'll talk about having sex and we'll talk about the benefits, the health benefits. Even stress at times. Doctors advise you having sex to relieve stress. Because yes, it's to consume your calories, the pumping, everything. But there's a way it takes away your stress. So we will not talk about it only on spiritual level.
Doctors advise you.
Oh yes, I have.
I mean, they give one of those advice.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's
because
it's a
the way you're making it
advice.
sound, it looks like that is the sole advice, the sole medicine for
Let me
stress,
take back my
or
word.
the sole medicine for prostate cancer. I even wanted to ask about that prostate cancer. How many individuals have they diagnosed with prostate cancer that are the result?
You see
that.
I said chop knuckle again.
Thank you.
May I answer the question?
Another one is
okay.
people who are what's it called now? Reverend fathers or people who are unmarried, choosing to be unmarried, or fathers that lost their wife very early and probably because of some strong value system they don't marry again. How many of them get to actually have this?
We say they don't wake up every day with a boner?
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm trying to now talk on that prostate cancer that people want to pick on very well to see it as a reason.
The Reverend Father Vincent that we see at the altar, he wakes up with a boner almost every day.
But he does not have a prostate cancer, does he?
Are you sure he doesn't? I'm not saying prostate cancer is a must. Prostate cancer is not individual thing, hereditary most times.
So
yes. So I'm just saying that the fact that you've decided not to have sex doesn't mean you as a guy, you will not wake up with the urge to have sex. You will not see something that will make you want to have sex. You will not be seeing a movie that will. So how do you now deal with it from let's totally remove spiritual and Bible?
It's the same way you deal with other emotions that you also have, other feelings that you also have. Intimacy or sexual desires I think it will stem from the same place that anger does, that jealousy does, that every other kind of emotion does. How do you? I'm not comparing two things. It's the same body. It's the same body. It's the same mind. It's the same brain. Whatever happens with your genitals still comes from your brain.
Like I said earlier, a man's genital is different from his brain.
That is not true.
How do we know that? We don't have a man here.
That's just a myth.
You guys should please call us so we know.
Maybe I'm saying something that is just absurd, but I think it's the brain that controls everything that happens in your body.
For a man,
yes,
the brain does not control everything that happens to their body.
Why? I don't understand.
For a female, I agree with that, but for a man's brain and his
I feel like I've been a man before.
I've not been a man before, but I think I can categorically say I have more of male friends. Folks.
Oh, so they're the ones telling you this.
Well, maybe we all read things online.
Those people are liars.
I don't think they are lying. I do not. You people should comment.
You guys should.
We are having this hot argument. Maybe we should just open our phone line.
Yes, please open the phone line.
Please.
So, okay, so how do intending couples navigate this entire no sex thing? How do they navigate?
I think dating period should not be too long.
That one day.
True. I said it.
See. Let me give you the
You guys are hypocrites. We are not.
Let me say this.
You know why you're thinking we're hypocrites? Because it's not the regular kind of answer you want to get.
Wait, no, it's not the type of answer. We are of different views and perspective, right?
And this is my own view. So why do you think it's hypocritical?
Dating period should not be too long.
Yes.
Right. So in 3 months, let's get married before we find out that.
6
you
months
said
is
something
fine.
the other time that
6 months.
There are some things that only sex will make you find out. And like they say on the street,
Who said so?
Like they say on the street, sex is another form of bonding. I'm not saying sex with random people, but sex is another form of bonding.
Sure.
Yes. So which means there's some level of bonding that you will get to that only sex will make you get to. Right. So which means
I have a problem with absolute statements.
How would you know your partner has
true absolute?
Okay.
Go on.
How would you know your partner has low sex drive or low libido, like they say, or your partner has high libido without trying it. You have to test the water. Please, I'm speaking for the street. Then people are speaking for the church.
I'm not disputing these things that you're saying.
How would you know your partner's sexual energy is not matching with your own sexual energy? How would you know maybe the sexual tool is not what you want? So if you do not try all of these things, if we do not see each other's body unclad, how would you know all of these things?
Oh yeah, Cheregodi.
Please, can I drop this?
No, you please.
Cheregodi. And when you now know, and when you now know that it is not, what are you now going to do? You leave that one to go and check another one. That
you cannot start working on it compared to, okay, look at this lady. It was not Tifel. She had vaginismus. Vaginismus is a psychological condition where you are scared of penetration.
Yeah.
So it's a psychological condition. When she got married as a virgin, when she got married, she thought it was a gynecology thing or so.
Yeah.
She went for different interviews.
She worked on it in the marriage.
She worked on it after 9 months of marriage. It took a god. If she's
marriage not lifetime, so why can't we work on it in that marriage?
So that man waited for a very long time to get married.
I'm saying that if you now find that this person does not meet that your sexual expectation, that's how you keep checking different people.
You cannot be intentional about working on it.
Then bring that intentionality to the marriage.
Finish.
When we are married,
gosh, why are you already bringing problems to a new marriage?
See, this is it here. This is it here. Okay. People should allow me to talk.
Let me rest.
Minister Gosby.
So the thing is, I mean, that's why if you want to adopt the whole, let's not have sex till we are married, right? And it has to be for people that believe in that. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why even if at the end of the day, you guys get married and you notice that, probably this person is not the sex person, or you have an issue with the whole sex routine and all of that. And that's why it can be worked on, because, you already had that agreement. You guys share the same faith and believing in God and all of those things. You get what I'm saying? Then they will not have an issue. And that's why I kind of support you, Luchi. But again, if it's for people that they already tested the waters, they really don't know what the Bible is about. Even if they know what the Bible is about, somehow deep there, they just know that, okay, I still want to have sex, right? In those kind of people with those kind of mentality now, it's going to be a lot of issue for them if they eventually get married and they start having those kind of issues. And that's why it's important that before you go into relationship, you guys already have conversations, right? So are you agreeing that no sex till marriage? Have you had sex before? Have those conversations that might be sounding difficult. Do you get what I'm saying?
Difficult questions.
Yeah, difficult questions. Have you had sex before? If yes, what was it like? How was your? Do you have high libido and all of the Let's talk about those things, right? But if it's for a virgin that literally I've not tested the waters, really don't know what sex is about and all of that, that's quite different. Do you get what I'm saying? So in all of these things, yeah. We just have to start with the conversations you guys have had before then. If you guys had the proper conversations, you guys will not have issue. Especially when there was already an agreement that, okay, no sex till marriage. But in situations where there was no conversation like that, and you guys are probably just testing yourself and all, I understand the angle.
Let's now bring it to the street where gay and lesbians are all over. And they're saying if your partner is not wanting sex with you in a relationship, it can be a pointer to the fact that he's gay, right? So what if you find out all of these things? Okay, my partner is gay in marriage, the wife is dealing vaginismus in marriage. So I feel like this marriage that is new, people have brought so many problems which can be avoided in relationship
by having the sex.
By having the sex, yes. I'm saying.
Are you seriously saying this?
Please, we cannot all sleep and put our head in the same place.
Okay, that's the thing is everybody. I like the fact that there are people that they want to, test the waters before they get married.
Good.
To each their own. To be honest, Luchi, to each their own. Not everybody is a Christian. We have Muslims.
That's fine.
We have the Buddhists.
Like I mentioned
a whole
before,
lot of that. So
values have different scale of preferences and priorities. So whatever is number one to you might not be number one for the other person.
Exactly.
But to address that thing you're talking about, entering marriage with new problems, I don't think that's a way to see marriage, honestly. That's because marriage itself is a lifelong thing. Anything that's going to be for a very long time will definitely have its problems and issues. Before we get married, we have already determined and made up our mind that whatever issue that comes, we'll face it together. So even if it's on infertility or you're not able to satisfy your partner, I'm sure there are medical solutions that you can put into it. And there's a long time for us to fix it together.
Yeah. This particular minister that I'm talking about, I'm trying to remember her name. I know I follow her, but I can't remember her name. She said that she knew that her husband wasn't totally happy with her, although he was very, very supportive. They were living from Lagos to Ibadan to see different gynecologists. They even told the husband on the hospital gynecologist bed that they will numb her from waist till down while the husband tries to have sex with her. They numbed her. The husband, she could not, her body wasn't receiving any form of, she said she has no threshold for pain. So which means, I feel like if they had tried it during relationship period, they would have, wait.
The man would not have continued.
Yes, wait.
I agree.
I feel like if they had tried it during relationship period, yes, they would have spent those that courtship stage visiting the gynecologist and then doing all of these things. Then the guy would have said some things to her to calm her down, because sex is not just open your leg and that's all. It comes with, for we females though, it comes with, that's what they said, prep your wife. That even though you want to have a show at night, start prepping her down in the morning. Just imagine 9 months, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4, 5 months, 6 months, up until 9, 10, 11 months in marriage.
Marriage that is almost going to be 30, 40, 50 years. Why do you think 9, 10, 11 months is not? Why do you think it's too long for us to sort the issue? You are saying that they should have had it right before marriage. Do you think, honestly, that person would have stayed? Or you think it would not have been 9, 10, 11 months for them to have sorted it?
You know what I think? A guy that would have stayed. A guy that would not have stayed.
Would have be testing with different people that will eventually stay.
But at least she'll finally get to deal with the issue she had.
So is it by dealing with it on the premarital stage? That's what I don't really quite get. Why do you think it cannot be sorted in the marriage? What makes you think that is that premarital that will actually deal it? Or it will even escalate the problem to make it look even worse?
So what other things can be? We are taking out sex from the conversation. What are we replacing it with?
If you're taking out
sex from the relationship.
That sounded very sarcastic.
Game.
Video. See, Mira.
You blasting in tongues.
Wait first. You need to understand this thing. Anybody that decides that no sex till marriage has certain reasons, and it has to be communicated, right? Now, it's either we are both sharing the same faith that says, oh, no fornication till, I mean, you guys are married and all of these things, right? And in that instance, you understand that we are both lovers of God, and there are things lovers of God do together than having sex.
What if my own reason is not because of God? What if my reason
I
is
accept
because...
that, because some people can have different
reasons. Celibate.
Yeah, probably.
I just want to be celibate. Or because, okay, my last relationship, I've had enough sex. Yeah, they are celibate.
But you have to give me a reason why you're being
Do you know that some people can decide not to have sex and they are not virgins? So this is just a conversation. So you're not telling a man that yes, so I'm not a virgin, no, but I don't want to have sex in this relationship.
You would give me a reason. You've been a celibate.
I just not wanted to give you my body.
Like,
what sort of reason? Why do you need a reason that I don't want to give you my body?
Lucci,
have you looked at it in that way?
Lucci, wait. See,
okay. Lucci
if I am coming to and you've been talking a whole lot, bro. See, if I am coming to tell you that, oh, I'm a celibate, right, and I don't want to have sex, there should be a reason following it. Oh, probably my previous... No, let's be for real. Probably because my faith doesn't allow it. That's a reason. Oh, because the last relationship I had, the guy did me dirty. That's a reason. There has to be a reason. You cannot just wake up one morning and say, oh, today, Father Lord, I want to be a celibator and I don't have a reason. Nothing like that happened. Nothing like that can happen. Do you understand? So you coming out to say, oh, you are doing this certain thing, there has to be a reason. Most of those people that come out to claim that they don't have this reason, that because they probably don't know how to use that thing. Let's be for real. I'm being for real.
Some of these Ogaipa calling thing.
Very,
very soft.
But like I say, because we really have to go.
Truth.
Okay, let's just take parting shots. So I will use that as my parting shot.
Parting shots, honestly. Say parting shot. Okay, back to the topic. Is premarital sex a deal breaker or a no big deal? Say deal breaker. A big hammer that's broken every deal. And we're going our separate ways, people.
Oluchi Omenka said this.
Yes.
Quote her, please. Okay, I think I'll just say to each their own, right? I mean, if you want to do God things, follow through, if you want to live Christ-like, behave like one. Do the things that he has ordered you to. pass the commitment, the commandment rather, that's the 10 commandment, follow through. Do you get what I'm saying? But again, if you feel like, oh, God's commandment is too much, I mean, just like the way Moses said the two when he was holding it, it's very heavy and all of that. So it might be too much for you to hold as well. So you can as well, you know, do the sex, explore, doggy, 6ix9ine, whatever, just to each their own.
Thank you very much,
actually.
Godspeed. We are good.
Thank you a lot.
We are good.
Good,
For me, I would say you don't get better at an activity you don't do often. You don't get better. You only go to a driving school to drive a car. You will only get better by driving on different roads. You only get better by driving through Third Mainland Bridge today, Ikoyi Link Bridge tomorrow. So you don't get better by something. Okay, it's as good as using your phone. If you don't keep using your phone every day, there's no way you discover new things on the phone. So when I bring it to sex thing, I mean, I would say do what works for you. But then sex, premarital sex is not a big deal for me. Yes.
It's how you have to start with a proverb first. You don't get better, get better.
You said what you said, and I am saying what I'm saying. It's not a big deal for me.
My own is, if
sex
you're
life is a
doing
part of
any
a
of
female
those
step
things,
that should be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because when you start to get to age
Sure.
40, when you start to get, you'll be seeing different feelings. Eat today, this thing tomorrow.
I feel
Because
you.
menopause is coming. So it is what you enjoy from your age 25 or this thing that you would look back on and we want to keep you growing.
See, I don't have an issue with
but
all
then
of
with
these
one
things.
partner.
Mine is, you know, stay true to the one that you are following. Don't come and put it on my face. Like, if you are doing certain things, do it on your own. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't come and make it look like this is something that everybody needs to be doing. Like the way Oluchi is announcing this thing.
Thank you. That's why I'm going to also say this my own, that you should never shy away from whatever you believe in. Hold on to your beliefs very strongly, and there are other people in your community that believe as well.
people like Oluchi that in your
Yes.
community.
If you are with me,
So now you
say hi.
left the community.
I did not
She's
know
in the middle. She's a politician. She's politician.
Ladies and gentlemen, till we come your way again tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., please do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can also interact with us further via our different social media platforms and drop the comment. Do you believe in premarital sex? Is it a yay or a nay, like they say in Senate House? Are you Team Shola or you are Team Oluchi? For me, it's not a big deal. For Oluchi, it's a deal breaker. Guys, see you tomorrow.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?